Buongiorno, chérie. Bonjour to you all, but most especially to you, Valerie. I see you couldn't stay away from the ratios. How you been? How's it going? You doing better? Your sanity all back? I don't think it's gonna be once we get through with this, but you're always welcome to be here on this channel. It's always a pleasure to see you. But let's go into what has brought you here today. We're going to go on a journey, everybody. You, I, and her. And at the end of this, hopefully we all leave satisfied, realizing that the cringe was the real friend we made along the way, and maybe come out freshly fucked in this clusterfuck that we have before us. So, I don't have a lot of sanity left, and you sadly have caught me while I was re-upping my dosage of the not sicky pills. So I'll try not to waste any time and just get right into the news, shall we? Believe you me, if you might still be out of the loop on what the fuck it is that she did this time, don't worry, fam. Literally everybody is shitting on top of her head right now. And it has really nothing to do with any of the things that are going to be the go-to excuses this time. But it wasn't last time. But, you know, gotta get those right out the goddamn gate. This is not happening. Mars bar. This isn't happening to you because you're trans. It's not happening to you because people hate women. Although, can I get a fuck women in the chat? Because truthfully, honestly, dead ass, off cop, hard cap, you're making it really fucking easy to find a way to make excuses too. Because your behavior here is not just abhorrent, it is downright ignorant. Because from your own statements, any of which can be seen from any of these threads, I don't need to go into it in detail here because we already fucking know. We know. And more than likely, Dev is going to make a video on it too, and he can go with depth there. I don't really give a shit what the fuck it is that you've said this time, because realistically speaking, anybody can look at this and tell that you have not learned your lesson. You'd think you'd learn your lesson, but I have a theory as to why you didn't. But relatively speaking, you really, really don't like listening. Let's start at the top to recap how it was last time. You make a stupid ass statement on the internet. You say, ugh, the incels are mad. And then you plug your Patreon. Is that about right? Let's see what the cycle was this time. You made a stupid ass statement. You said, ooh woo, the incels are mad. Then you called them Karens, which, ooh, that's interesting, considering your behavior is exactly as consistent as a fucking Karen's. And then you plugged your Patreon. I see we are 2 for 2. So the important part here is already out of the way. But I have something I'd like to present to the class, if I may be so inclined, and you may so indulge me. Because I've only got about 5 hours worth of brain cell left, and I have to use it well and wisely. Mallory, I noticed last time when you unceremoniously locked your account and hid from the world, you got really, really upset that your art got co-opted to push a positive message. A message that you have outright shown that you will not take to heart. But I also noticed another thing. It's not by our hands that this ratio comes, but actually by your own. In fact, this specific one, you remember this, right? This was in your current phase of Manic Pixie Nightmare Girls, where your art used to reflect that of the hot yet smart chipmunk. You said, and I quote, blah 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 blah, poetic justice. To be more exact, this situation that's happening to you for the second time now is the exact same thing that happened to you before. You made a straw man and you pushed for an immoral action to be justified, because you consider the person who was the victim to be a justified victim. And I believe, as the saying goes, no bad tactics, just bad targets, right? So when people took your art and used it as a weapon against you, not to sling abuse and hatred and harangue and harassment at you, but instead to say a message which is, your negativity will not be overpowered by our positivity, you actually sat there and cried for about a good long month and a half. I remember, because I counted. Now, you came back again. You've changed your avatar insert style again. And if I throw those bitches up on screen here, we've gone through about 4 to 5 iterations, if I'm counting correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong in the description. However, it is in noticing the message of your original statement that it becomes dawning on me that you seem to be giving us a message. Mallory, are you asking for help? Because that's the only thing I assume here. That's my take. It goes a little something like this, right? You choose to jump off the slippery slope. You act like a goon, and you fish for bait, even though those of your own side are currently treating you like the K-pop stans treated the K-popper that got Ren taken off the internet. He's back now, but the same idea, basically. If you really hate yourself that much, I would suggest finding therapy, maybe getting some help, because for you to have this happen to you multiple times, and either through sheer stubbornness or through sheer force of will ignore the lesson that was being taught to you, it tells me a lot about your psyche. And what it tells me is this: you're a person that gets off on the attention. That's clear. Everybody sees that. But it's more than that. It's more than just getting off on the attention, because you become so disillusioned with your identity so far. Not your identity as your chosen sexual expression, but your actual identity as in your personhood. You have become so disillusioned with your own self that you constantly change your author avatar and the insert that you choose to push your politics with, and your intrigue with, and your ideas with. So much so that it can only respond to me that you change it so often, either because you have DID, or because you have extreme dysphoria of the mental kind, which is to say, not only are you of that kind of dysphoric thing to end up where you are right now, but also you have a disillusionment with how you perceive your own mental self. You know, you could say your digital intellectual avatar. For your own art, not us, not the embarrassment and the humiliation and the humble experience given to you by people using your art to make a message to you and tell you, hey, maybe don't do this. For you to find yourself here, where you are constantly choosing to walk into a rake, it tells me that you are so stubborn that you will choose to keep doing this because you consider that you're perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. And yet deep down you know that there is. I don't know which is worse. At least if you choose to jump off the slippery slope, that's one thing, but if this is your version of a cry for help, I'm sorry. I cannot and I will not help you. All I will offer you is my laughter. Because if you've gotten this far in life and you have no friends that are nearby that will tell you, hey, this is a bad idea, more than likely, my dear Gunas, you have no friends. Like, you have realistically no friends. I know Matthew Meyer has probably promised you a lot, No, I know that the rest of the circle jerking chanters and the entire rest of the woke cults are probably giving you ass pats right now in your mentions and on your page. We know that Quentin's already simping for you. Like, we've been new. But you do understand that when the clout fades and the cries of Chicken Little don't go through and everybody continues to disregard what you have to say, eventually you're going to, if you're not already, going to realize that you're going to feel even more isolated now than you already do. There is no going back from this. You have to understand that. You can sit there, you can cry, and you can be mad, but I told you last video that you did this to yourself. If I were in your position, I would be saying the exact same thing to me, and you have to understand, I'm not saying this out of malice. I'm saying this because I care. You have to fix yourself. Physician, you need to heal thyself. Get a clue, bitch. Get a clue. All I can tell you, till you choose to make the change, I can't do shit to help the woman in the mirror. Because you need to come out, darling. You need to come out to the light. We have cookies. Because if you keep staying how you are, the world is going to slice and dice you and make eggs deviled. There's nothing else I can really tell you. That's it. That's the tweet. If anything, maybe you learn from this one this time, but I highly doubt that, because if you didn't learn last time, what's going to make you learn this time? If all you perceive everything as is that everybody's just bullying you because, damn, they're just a whole fuckload of Karens, well, I'm sorry, Meredith, but you're going to have to take your ass to the back of the exchange line, because I don't have any fucks to give. Hugs and kisses, and a big fuck you.